Hello everyone and welcome to the live again, and we are on the second labor of Hercules. It's quite funny how the past that the myths, they were made in order to teach us about things that are going on in our lives, and the teachings can be so relevant to today's world. That's what I love about the myths. And so Hercules, looking at his second labor, we're going to go into how it affects us in our present life. First of all, we're just going to go through a quick backdrop, which I've previously said, but here we go. Hercules was the son of Zeus, and Zeus was the king of gods. And Zeus had an affair with a mortal woman, her name was Alcmene, and she actually didn't know that Zeus was Zeus. She thought that Zeus was her husband, and so King Zeus had actually tricked her, and so that made Hercules a demigod, and so this is it. I mean, this leads to the deception of a family. First of all, the deception of Alcmene, thinking that she is, giving birth to her husband's child, and it's the King Zeus. And the second, Zeus's wife, Hera, who actually was, Hercules was a constant reminder of his affair, of Zeus's affair, and so all the deception breeds. It sort of leaks right through the family, and so it's just, how do you accept these difficult family truths? And that's what we're going to look at today in his second labor. Through Hercules' life, Hera was very, very jealous of him, and because of her resentment towards, looking at him and thinking of her husband's illegitimate affair. And so she tried all these techniques to try to get rid of him. And one technique was actually trying to deceive him and into madness, and he actually killed his family. So Hercules tried to commit suicide because of this. He went into exile, and he felt really, really guilty about what he had done. And all the gods and all, the mortals were very angry with him at the idea of him killing his family. And so what he did is, instead of committing suicide, he went to the oracle of Delphi and he asked for help, about what he had done. And they said to perform the 12 labors that Hera and his jealous cousin had assigned to him. And so Hercules had to perform 12 labors in order to make amends of the crimes that he had done with killing his family, which wasn't his fault anyway. And so, yes. So today we are going to look at the second labor of the 12. And the second labor focuses on a Hydra. And so Hercules is faced with a Lernaean Hydra, which is a serpent that has multi heads. So it's got a whole lot of heads. And this Hydra, he had to kill it in order to perform the task. But unfortunately, this Hydra, as soon as you cut a head off, another one would grow. And so the more heads you cut off, the more heads would grow. And so it was very poisonous and very vicious. And so he was tasked with this. Now, in cutting off the heads, though, he couldn't do it by himself because he had other challenges. Hera had thrown in a crab as well, which had sidetracked him. So he was not only dealing with the multi-headed serpent, the Hydra, he was also dealing with a crab, and a crab with very big claws. So what he did is he asked for help, which is something that we should do when we go through difficulties. And he asked his his nephew to help him. And so when they got ahead, he put poison on it, which was from the arrows, and he managed to seal it, and so they wouldn't grow again. And so, he used the past, from killing, he used the poison from killing another beast, and he used it to cauterize and kill the multi-headed serpent, and he also killed the crab. And that's a bit like how we can deal with our complex problems today, and dealing with our families, and dealing with work, and dealing with issues that are going on in our lives. Because some problems, they may be tricky. You may be dealing with infidelity. You may be dealing with laziness, with addictions, with misunderstandings, conflicts of other issues. And that's like the multi-headed serpent. It's not just one problem. There might be a whole lot of problems going on in your house, and they need understanding. And, when there is a communication breakdown that between people, things all, you have to really get to the root of the problem and understand the problem in order to unroot it or cut it off or whatever you want to do. So I'll give you a modern day example. Let's say we've got Emily, who's a teenage girl, and her mum, Sarah. Sarah is a divorced mother. She works 2 jobs. She works very, very long hours, and she tries really hard, exhausted, and she tries to look after her daughter, Sarah. Because she's not home with Sarah, because her job is sort of taking presidency, because she is trying to support her family, her teenage daughter, Emily, feels very, very insecure. She feels that her mother doesn't look after her, doesn't care about her, and her mum's trying to make ends meet. And so Emily's feelings of neglect and Sarah's feelings of stress constrain their communication. They've sort of shunned each other, and they're not really talking to each other. So how did these two come together in order to cut the multi-headed serpent and look at the root of their problem? They have to sit down and get to the root, get down to the, have an open conversation, an honest, open conversation, and express exactly the neglect from Emily, the stress from Sarah, with no judgment, in order to get to the root of the problem. And that's what it's about. And they can strengthen their relationship. And there might be that crab that comes in, which is another problem. Maybe the mortgage, Sarah can't meet the mortgage. Or maybe there'll be another sidetrack beside the problems, like the financial problems. It's not just about their relationship. There might be other, like a crab coming in, which is a bit like Hercules in his second labor. So what does all this tell us? What does Hercules' second labor tell us? First of all, there's nothing like unity. There's nothing like an open, honest conversation, sitting down, talking about each other's needs. Just like how Hercules' nephew, what was his name, Lolius or something. He helped Hercules to get to the root of the problem and cut off the head of the problem, the heads of the problem, and they killed the crab. And that's what Sarah and Emily did. They got to it was about sitting down together, the teamwork to resolve the problem. The second one, get ready for surprises. I mean, in life, you might be dealing with a problem, and then something like your mortgage might come up, like the crab. So get ready for those issues. You know, you've got to be on your feet. You've got to be alert for those unexpected challenges, which are so frequent in today's world. Like there's the coronavirus and other things, the pandemics that and other things like problems in our family. They're unexpected. And also, you guys, we can learn from the tough times. Like Hercules had poison on his arrow in order to slay the multi-headed serpent. So he learned that from his past challenges, he managed to kill the serpent with the poison that he had. He had learned from past issues. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you, so it's not just about that, but as you guys know, I'm quite a Christian, and it's nice to see how Hercules' labors relate to Christianity, because today is Easter for the Greek Orthodox Christians, and so we celebrated Easter, where we say Christ has risen, and truly he has. That's what we say in the Orthodox religion. But Easter for me is about sin and redemption. It's about the concept of forgiving sins. And just like, Hercules, he tried to make amends, even though it wasn't his fault. Just like Jesus went to the cross, so did Hercules have to do these labors of killing his family. They had metamorphosized into monsters and dragons, and he slayed his family under Hera's delusion. She had made them into monsters, so he thought he was slaying monsters, and they were his wife and children. And that's a bit like what we did to Jesus Christ. So it's about him forgiving us for doing that. And Hercules, he tried to make amends. He tried penance for what he had done to his family. So that's what it means to me there. And the transformative power, like just personal growth and positivity of actually being able to kill that multi-headed serpent and getting to killing the crab, and that's beautiful. And the triumph over good over evil. I mean, he managed to do it. It's a bit like Jesus rising. Today we've got the Christian Orthodox, the Christianity, not just Orthodox, but how Jesus rose from the dead. They said he couldn't do it, but he did. And Hercules rose in his power. And yeah, that's it. And you guys, if Hera could say she was sorry, I mean, I know it was hard that her husband had an affair and had a child with Alcmene, but if Hera could actually have said sorry to Hercules and not made him kill his family, and just that, saying you're sorry even though you've been wronged, not to hurt somebody else. And you guys, issues are difficult, family relationships, all of that, it's all difficult. It's like an emotional roller coaster sometimes, where jealousy gets in the middle, resentment gets in the middle, betrayal, it's all happening in the past and in our modern day families. And you guys, sometimes confronting that multi-headed serpent can be really difficult. But once you can overcome your fears and you can get rid of the crab, the distractions, and you can actually like cut the heads off of the serpent and get to the root of the problem, you can come to harmony and find that peace. Yeah, so that's that. That's about it for today. I would like to say thank you so much for joining. You guys, I'd like you to join us next week, where we will be looking at the third labour of Hercules and seeing how it relates to today's world. Thank you. Dare to Begin Life Coaching, signing off. Love, peace, love and rainbows. Bye.